have a lot to play for. And Nigeria, we are playing towards 3 things: to improve our FIFA ranking. Maybe if you need the job,
and also to get ready.
Yeah, maybe if you need the job, we'll be actually getting the job. Yes, exactly.
I think that shouldn't be a factor now. Let's just.
I'm just saying that what it's actually
the boys to play for the jersey, not to play for a particular person to get the job.
It doesn't mean anything. We all know how it works. After that victory, if you need the Georgians, a lot of people have been changed. I point him.
Okay,
but that's not the way forward. So I think that too should not be what we cannot take that away from that game today.
All right, Dima Chiko is on the show this morning, and like I said earlier, we still have a whole lot to talk about that game. But let me also have Dima. This is no doubt yet another opportunity for the Super Eagles of Nigeria to show the world that what we saw at the concluded 34th edition of the African Cup of Nations was no fluke. Going to the final, even despite a lot of persons not really giving us the chance to go far in that tournament, but they made it to the final. Now, Dima, how important is this game for the Super Eagles of Nigeria? Before we now come back to talk of Coach Finidi George, who is no doubt a factor at this time, thanks to Makadex Banti.
So I don't really think there's much pressure on the Super Eagles to deliver on this game. It's a friendly game to just sharpen their skills and probably just get to know newer players. Of course, the invitees. We've been able to identify one new defender who actually performed in his first match against Ghana, and of course, according to Finidi George, is going to try and make use of more new players in this encounter. So it's just like finding new players and of course improving our FIFA ranking. That is going to be the only reason we would want to win the game. But there's no pressure. I mean, a match against Mali is not something that we should be analyzing deeply because Nigeria should easily get a win against Mali. It's not as if they are one super powerhouse. Yes, they have a 12-game unbeaten streak. It ends today. That is simple as that. Nigeria will.
It ends today, right?
I mean, you say they are going to play in Tunisia. They played Tunisia. What was the last time Tunisia had a very good outing in any major competition?
But the game against South Africa will not be forgotten. And their exploits are just concluded African Cup of Nations.
If not that Pizarro is an El Bushito coach, are we going to lose in that match that we lost after a very fine performance at the group stage? So it's more like brush up yourselves, find new players, improve your FIFA ranking if you get a win. Of course, try as much as possible to try and continue to blend, and maybe another chance for Finidi George to prove to us why he's the best man for the job.
All right, well, you know what is going to happen now. Dynamo joins us, and this makes the conversation very lovely. I had a conversation with Dynamo before coming on the show this morning, and he said a lot about that game. I think it's not really writing off maybe the Malians, but when we return, of course, we'll return straight to talking other issues about this game. This is a Sport O'Clock on Adamimogo 105.1 FM. Stay with us.
Prophetic Saturday and Sunday. Police Adamimogo. Àkòrí ti 2024. Freedom from family party. Òmìnira kúrò lọ́wọ́ ogun ìdílé. Láti Saturday April 6 di Saturday May 4. Aago mẹ́fà ìdájí la ó máa pàdé. Sunday 7th April di Sunday May 5. Mẹ́fà ìdájí ni. Àkàìmọye iṣẹ́ agbára ni Ọlọ́run ṣe nínú ìpàdé àdúrà ìlọ́dún tó kọjá o. Ó tún ti pinnu àti ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ọjọ́ Friday làwọn èèyàn ti máa dé sínú àdúrà. Láti rí wòlíì fún one-on-one counseling. Ọ̀pọ̀ àwọn olórí ẹ̀mí ló máa wà ń bẹ̀. Àtàwọn ìránṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run. Nígbà tí wòlíì Sámúlú ọlọ́bàbá Adamimogo yóò máa sọ̀rọ̀ àṣẹ tí yanu á máa ṣẹlẹ̀. The CAC Grace of Mercy Diamond Adamimogo Power House. Báòkú Close, Newton Estate, Ọ̀gọ̀ngọ̀ Àjálẹ̀gà. Gbogbo èèyàn ló máa sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀rí iṣẹ́ agbára tí Ọlọ́run tó máa ṣe. Jésù aláàánú fẹ́ràn tí ẹni tó ń gbọ́ mi yìí nínú ìpàdé àwẹ̀ ohun àdúrà ọlọ́gbọ̀n ọjọ́ tí Olúwa pa láṣẹ fún wòlíì rẹ̀ Prophet Jeremiah Olútọ́pẹ́ Adéyẹmọ JP CAC Ìkòyí District Revivalist. Ìpàdé àwẹ̀ àtàdúrà náà ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ látọjọ́ kìíní oṣù kẹta. Ọjọ́ mẹ́rin tó parí ẹ̀ máa lágbára yàtọ̀. Tọ̀sán tòru ní Christ Apostolic Church, Voice of Peace Outreach International, City of Peace, ojú ọ̀nà márosẹ̀ tó wá láti Ìbàdàn sífẹ̀ láàrin Akínlàní Junction sí Akíọlá Junction, Ìpẹ́tùmọ̀dù ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun. Jesus the Merciful, Jésù aláàánú ló fẹ́ fi àánú rántí rẹ̀. Gbogbo ìlérí tó gbọ́ tí ò ṣẹ nínú ìpàdé ọlọ́jọ́ mẹ́rin yìí lolúwa ti fẹ́ báyé pàdé. bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ Wednesday ọjọ́ kẹtàdínlọ́gbọ̀n sí ọjọ́ Sátidé ọgbọ̀njọ́ oṣù kẹta ọdún yìí. ọ̀pọ̀ àwọn olórin ẹ̀mí tó fi báwọn wòlíì tolúwa gbọ́ tiwọn ni yóò wà ńbẹ̀. Lady Evangelist Bọ́sì Adéìwà, Evangelist Ṣẹ́gun Adéfilé ọmọ aláṣẹ, Ọ̀dúnmúráyọ̀ Ilésànmí, Ṣeun Praise, Evangelist Ọláòkìkí Jésù, Lady Evangelist Tóyọ̀sí Akíyá, Prophet Adé Ọlọ́gbẹ́yọ, Prophet Joshua Fádáìró, Pastor J.S. Mákànjúọlá, Prophet Sam Olúalọ́, Pastor Iyo Alálàdé àti olùgbàlejò Prophet Jeremiah Olútọ́pẹ́ Adéyẹmọ JP. Jésù aláàánú fẹ́ báyé rẹ pàdé. Òṣogun tó gbé débẹ̀ tí ò ní gbé mi lọ́gán.
All right, you're welcome back. In case you just joining us, this is a Sports O'Clock on Adamimogo 105.1 FM, and we've been speaking about the Super Eagles of Nigeria game against Mali. What is that? The battle of the Eagles later today, like I said earlier. And don't forget that we're still very much live on Facebook, Adamimogo 105.1 FM. That is the page. Just go there right now. You get to see us live. And don't forget to drop your comment and also follow the show on YouTube, Adamimogo 105.1 FM. That is also the channel or maybe page on YouTube. Go there right now. You see us live, and don't forget to also tell us your expectations from the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Well, Dynamo, good morning to you. I've heard the side of Makadex Banti and Dima. It seems my guys are kind of trying to just give it outrightly to the Super Eagles of Nigeria based on their recent performance. But I said something to that. The Malians are not to be underrated going into this game. It is a friendly, but at the same time, a grade A friendly that should be taken seriously. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, my guy. It's such an honor to join all of the great football analysts in the studio, and just to it's at the point straight away. I think that we would be doing ourselves a lot of disservice if we just outrightly give that match to the Super Eagles. I'm not saying that we don't have the crop of players that should be able to do that, but don't forget that when you probably expect so much from Nigeria, that's when they flatter to the scene. And again, Nigerians are probably a bit boastful and proud now just because of what happened against Ghana. And don't forget that the Ghana's match wasn't also such a sterling performance from the Eagles. They did well because
their first outing after that heartbreaking.
It was what we saw was a departure from the kind of El Bushito football we played in the Nations Cup.
That's why we say that was close to El Bushito, kind of maybe light.
Yes.
El Bushito light.
It was close to El Bushito, but the difference is that at least to an extent you saw some individual performances that you could say, okay, I think that if this guy is better deployed, he'll be able to do a good job. For instance, it will be at what looks like a very good game, for his own standards, different from what we saw him, display during the AFCON. And we have a couple of players that should be able to actually get the job done, no doubt about it. But you don't forget that the Malians, until recently too, until just about a couple of months ago, they were probably one of the few, nations in Africa that their exports in terms of footballers across Europe, they're really doing very well. And they really are not too far behind us. And I would not want to outright give this to Nigeria, not because I think we're like to win, but because I think that Super Eagles could also still be Super Eagle-ish, when you don't expect them. We saw that, against the Ivorians. I never thought, and this is me actually saying the truth, I never thought for whatever reason that Nigeria would lose that match. I actually felt that when we got the first goal, just as we were able to do all through the tournament, that we're going to just be able to keep the attack at bay and eventually win the day. So when the first goal was scored against us, I felt like Nigeria, this one, it has to be the end. This cannot happen. And so that goal from Ale hurt me, broke my heart, and it broke my heart because. Not because I wanted Pazel to win, because I don't think that guy deserves to actually have been crowned as African champion coach. I think that if he had won it, a lot of people would have wrongly assumed that he was actually messianic in the way he handled the national team. But he's not. But because I just wanted something that would make me forget some of the challenges that Nigeria was facing. And
maybe the hardship then.
Yeah, I just wanted Nigeria to be able to laugh. Okay. And unfortunately, I think. It just made it worse when we didn't win and everything. So really, really playing what looks like good tactical football a little, under Finidi might just bring back those good memories. I don't think, and I'm going to say it again, I don't think Finidi is the man for the job, and I'm going to say this. And irrespective of even what the result today is, I don't think he's the man for the job. But you see, the truth is, Nigerians are very, very, emotional people. Once he gets the job done and they win 2 matches, in fact, some of us will be the ones that will be saying, that's the man. We can see. So for me, my choice will still be those three. I mean, one of those three. I've said them. Olise, Samson Siasia, or Emenike, at least for the moment.
I think now maybe this might just be the right time for us to now channel the conversation in towards another direction this morning. Now, these are friendly. When the friendlies were actually made public that the Super Eagles of Nigeria will play against the Black Stars and the Eagles of Mali. Well, we didn't know who would be the manager then. Some of us thought it would be Austin Eguavon, but now we have Finidi George in charge of the team at the moment. No doubt these are friendlies will go a long way, like I've been saying, in dictating who would be the head coach at the end of the day. And I said something. I think I've been asking them this. Maybe these are friendly, putting Finidi George in charge of the games. Maybe that would have amounted to a kind of a right decision or not. But now, another victory in this game will no doubt put Finidi George in the driving seat as the top contender for the top job as far as the country's football sector is actually concerned. But should this man be judged based on these two friendlies, knowing fully well that we need a victory, at the same time he wants a job, and this could play a big role in him getting that job. But another victory would amount to him being in the front row as he wants to take charge of this team.
Well, thank you very much for that question. To be honest, whether you like it or not, it will definitely put him in the front row, because you are dealing with Nigerians who are very emotional people, and right now are looking for anything to just hold on to as hope. You understand? There is nothing that gives the Nigerian the highest orgasm than hope. Hope that we can get better. Hope that we can be we can reach greater heights. Hope that we can bring something better to our lives. Because see, if NFF really were serious, they would have just allowed Pesero, maybe, I don't know, to finish up the remaining 2 friendly matches, or probably use the
wasn't a contract,
or probably use an assistant coach in the distance, because obviously that Pesero should have an assistant that is an indigenous coach.
Finidi is part of the
part of the assistant, part of the
but when an assistant now is also part of those contesting, and you have now put him in pole position.
Just like somebody wants to run for governorship seat as the acting governor.
I mean, a very good example happened recently in Formula One, where there was a player who was ousted, who was unable to make it. Was it for Mercedes or so? And a younger player, you told me about it.
Yes.
How to represent, and he took his chances. He came third. So you can imagine, he has been waiting, he has been running Formula 2, waiting for his opportunity, and that opportunity came, he took it. Do you think they will go back to the last person? No, he's going to continue the race. So it's more like...
Just like we saw in the case of Russell, yeah.
So look at what NFF now is in. If you don't give Finidi George the position, and you give it to another Nigerian, who is going to now want to start his own tactics, if it does not work in the first instance, you have made the greatest mistake. Now, if you hire Finidi George, and in his first match after these 2 friendly matches, God willing, he wins, and he flops, so you are judging based on 2 friendly games. Nigerians, we are very fickle with them. We don't have time, because that's how our government has trained us. You get the point. So when Finidi George now does not perform after this friendly game, if he's given the job, the stick will still go for NFF. So why put him in that position? The pressure now is on the NFF. Yeah. The pressure is on them to make sure that they get the best. And now, anybody who is not Finidi George and does not deliver close to what he has done with the friendly games is going to be under immense pressure. And no coach likes to work under pressure. No coach likes to work under the fact that all eyes are on him, and he's feeling like, oh, I might lose my job in the next instant, because it's going to make him overthink. And when you overthink in football, you lose your game, because you don't play out your original tactics. You want to find every way to just win. Who can crook, or it doesn't matter. So it's more like NFF is just trying their possible best to see how they can easily pick their coach. Hopefully, Finidi George works for them.
Well,
hopefully.
I think this might just be the right time for us to
but
leave that game.
I've always said I don't think he's the man for the job. I think he should finish up with Enyimba first before we can talk about anything.
Well, about that game, we have some guys who will not be part of the encounter later today due to injury. One of them, Calvin Bassey. Well, Calvin Bassey will not be part of this game. And for Finidi George has also promised to ring changes. Maybe Francis Uzor might likely be returning to this team to replace goalkeeper Sterling Wambali. Well, that is how we have it at this time. But now let's just leave the Super Eagles of Nigeria game to talking another super team. This time around, the Super Falcons of Nigeria. The team has been selected for the game against Bayana of South Africa. Who are the names? Who are the usual suspects? And of course, the guys who are making the appearance for the very first time in this team. Of course, I will be back. Let's just go on this short break. When I return, we'll start talking the Super Falcons of Nigeria.
Drifting away from N'Golo Kante. Kevin De Bruyne. Game changer. Points of world-class difference.
All right, straight away now, guys, let's start talking other issues aside the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And we talk the Falcons this morning for coach around the wardrobe. He has extended invitations to Captain Rashidat Ajibade, US-based African Queen Asisa Oshuala, and high-riding goalkeeper Chiamaka Nadoze among a group of 22 players for the two-legged Paris Olympic final qualified fixture against South Africa next month. And for the likes of Saudi Arabia-based defender Ashil Promta and a veteran Osinache Ali, they were actually called up for this game. We also have some youthful midfielders such as Deborah Abiodun, forwards Esther Okoronko, not leaving out Uchenna Kano. Let me just quickly tell you the guys that we have on board. The goalkeepers, of course, the ever reliable Nadoze makes a return to the team. Tochiko also returns, and not leaving out Linda Jowako, the lady who plays for Bayelsa Queens. This is no doubt another big one for the NWFL, talking about the Nigeria Women Football League. And now we have some of our local guys being part of this very, very, very big game against the South Africa defenders. We have Osinachi Ali. We have Ashley Promta, of course, the ladies who play for Italada ladies in Saudi Arabia. We have Oladipo from FC Robo Queens, Michelle Aloze, the fine ladies who is everyone's crush at this time. And not leaving out Nicole Payne, she's also part of the team, and Chidima Okeke, I beg your pardon, midfielders Abiodun Debra, we have Alimatu Ayinde, Christy Uchebe, Jennifer Ichegini, we also have Rashidat Ajibade, who is the captain of that team at this time. Forwards, we have Omorin Sola Babajide, Esther Okoronko, Asisat Oshuala, Gift Monday, Uchenna Kano, and we have, I think, lots of wonderful names that we have here. But before we talk that, let me tell you that according to reports we are getting, we might not be having the Super Eagles of Nigeria coach around the wardrobe. Yeah, the Super Falcons, I beg your pardon, are being part of that game. Why is this so? Well, I think Atotike is somewhere in the corner just telling us to go on this commercial break. A lot of funny stuff to talk about this. This is what you get when you have two jobs. We'll be back to talk that list.
Oníbùdíkò máa gbáre ní Jesus City. Ọlọ́run Sàmúlú àlọ́ máa jẹ́wọ́ títóbi rẹ̀.
Àwọn ọlọ́run lẹ́nu wòlíì. Bàbá Babájídé sí wòlíì Sàmúlú àlọ́ bàbá Adamimogo. Tó mú kí wọ́n rìn sí láti lè ṣàdérí o. Máa jẹ̀mú ìgbé dídé ní sà. Láti ìgbà yẹn gbogbo ẹni bá ní bàbá di ọlọ́run láyé wòlíì Sàmúlú àlọ́. Ayé wọn kì í tó wà bákan náà. Àkórí Exodus 2024. No more limitation. Látọjọ́ Friday 17th, a bá ti wọnú àdúrà. Ọjọ́ Monday la máa ṣe orí ọ̀fẹ́ o. Ẹ̀mí ọlọ́run ṣe tó ń fẹ́ jẹ́ gbogbo àjàgà. Gbẹ̀dẹ́gẹ́ lọ́rùn onímọ̀júpọ̀ èèyàn. Níbi tí ẹ̀mí ọlọ́run yóò ti máa lo àwọn wòlíì rẹ̀. Pẹ̀lú àwọn olórí ẹ̀mí bíbí sí aláwìyí àlùkò. Ìlàjà akẹ́tọ̀dọ̀ ọlọ́run sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Sarah pray. Jesus hear wisdom. Wòlíì májàmú Sàmúlú àlọ́ bàbá Adamimogo. Wọ́n máa fi májàmú sọtẹ́lẹ̀ láti Friday 17 ní Monday 20th May. Gbogbo ẹni CAC Grace of Mercy Premonte. Adamimogo Jesus City. Tó wà ní Ìlàmìjà Village. Lẹ́kì Ẹ̀pẹ́ Expressway nílùú Èkó. Ó yá ní Jesus City.
The Light Event Center àti The Light Guest House. Gbọ̀ngàn ayẹyẹ pẹ̀lú ilé ìgbafẹ́. tó dùn wò tó fi ní lọ́kàn balẹ̀ fún ayẹyẹ yìí tó ń bọ̀ lọ́nà níbi ayé tó tẹ́jú lábẹ́ ọyẹ́ tó ń kú rírì. Pẹ̀lú The Light Guest House, àwọn yàrá tẹ́ ó ti máa wo ohun tó ń lọ lágbàáyé. Ètò ààbò tó péye tún wà níbẹ̀. Home away from home ni.
Òótọ́ ni gbẹ̀gàn ayẹyẹ kò ń bàdàn pẹ̀lú ilé ìtura. Àmọ́ ọ̀kànlélẹ́yìn tó wáyà mi. The Light Event Center pẹ̀lú The Light Guest House. Gbẹ̀gàn ayẹyẹ tó gba òbítíbitì èèyàn lẹ́ẹ̀kan ṣoṣo. Pẹ̀lú àwọn amáyédẹrùn, digital screen, dressing room, pẹ̀lú ọyẹ́ tó ń kúrìrì. Ṣé ti The Light Guest House wà ní ká sọ? Níbi tẹ́ ó ti láǹfààní àti mọ bó ṣe ń lọ káàkiri àgbáyé nínú yàrá kọ̀ọ̀kan. Pẹ̀lú free wifi, ààbò tó péye ń bẹ lórí ẹ̀mí àti dúkìá yín. Ní The Light Event Center àti The Light Guest House. Adamimogo House, Shobande Street, ọ̀rẹ́ méjì Mọ́kọ́lá Ìbàdàn. Ló kalẹ̀ sí The Light Event Center pẹ̀lú The Light Guest House. Wow.
Home away from home ni.
First, and it's Adamimogo who makes it 1-1.
My name is Mutiu Adepoju, the headmaster. Listen to Sport O'Clock at Adamimogo 105.1 FM.
All right, you're welcome back. Now let's return to proceedings on Sport O'Clock on your super dial, a voice of the light at Adamimogo 105.1 FM. And I was talking about how our coach might likely go to his PPA to do his primary job and leave the secondary job, which is the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Well, but let's talk about that list first, because we must qualify for the Olympics before we now start talking. The coach himself, who might likely not be part of that game, according to a report that we are getting. Well, it's a very fine list, and having some of the usual guys back is something that I think we should be kind of delightful about as far as the list is concerned. But let's just look at some of the names. Asisa Toshuala, Gift Monday, Uche Nagano, among other top guys who they've been there, done that with the team. Compared to that of the Bayana team, I think we're ready for business first of all, and it is an important game for the Super Falcons, and this team actually justifies how important it is for us to secure the Olympic ticket.
Maybe I missed, the list, but I didn't hear you mention the main. And the main was
the main is not there. The main
was the best defender for Nigeria during the World Cup. We saw what that young lady, did, and so. If that lady is not there and you have Ohale and some other ones, I'm not saying Ohale is not good enough experience, but you also need youth, particularly in the defense. I was waiting to hear that name because that was the outstanding player in that defense during that tournament. Yeah. So I'm struggling to understand, the rationale behind that decision to leave that young girl out of this whole thing. But like you said, you look at that the strength of our team. We're arguably the best team in Africa in terms of the stars that we have,
but not the champions.
But when it comes to what we have achieved in the last couple of years, particularly as it affects the what you call women AFCON in Africa, it's not really the best, and I like it. I'll tell you the reason I say I like it. Before now, I told you that it is unheard of that for more than 2 decades, Nigeria dominated that
9 times.
It's unheard of. I mean, why did I say that? We're trying to use the Norwegians, the Swedes to compare. In 1993, when we had the World Cup and Nigeria made that particular World Cup, those were the major players. Then the Germans have always been there. There was no England. They were not there.
No Spain.
There was no Spain. They were not there. They were not the ones that you would look out for. But in just a little bit above 2 decades, today you're talking about the Dutch. You're talking about the English players. You're talking about the Spaniards. They are the ones really holding sway. So for Africa, I think Nigeria had them by the throat for such a long time. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. And I'm not saying it's also good that we're not dominating, because when you consider the population of this country and the plethora of footballing stars at our disposal, there's no reason Bayana or whatever they are called should actually be giving us what I call a headache. But
it's going to be a big game, and I think they will give us that headache.
No, they will because see, it boils down to what we talked about, the system. See, South Africa is getting a lot of things right, not just economically, but particularly their understanding of what some major sectors can do for their economy. Football, let's say sports, because South Africans are good when it comes to cricket. They are good when it comes to
rugby. I think are even the current world champion.
You see, they understand what sports would give them, and guess what? Football, that used to be the only thing we were always vaunting and boasting about. They are doing everything to take over. When you talk about their clubs, they are probably the dominant clubs in Africa at the moment.
In terms of facilities,
yes,
and all.
Facilities and even laurels. I mean, I still think the Mamelodi Sundowns are still probably the African champions at the moment. When it comes to club competition, their ladies are doing extraordinarily well too. So it's time for our administrators, our football administrators, or should I say sport in general, to rise to the occasion, and let's do what we have to do. The All African Games that just went by that we came second, and we're capping for them. We won 47 goals. Egypt had 101 goals.
102.
See the difference. See the difference. Yes, we came second, and then we will say that we're giant of Africa with our population. What have we used it to?
But we are just like assistant giants this time.
Yes.
We became second.
We're just wasting the resources that we have because we're smart. Nigerians are intelligent. Don't let us deceive ourselves. If you could make it out of this very volatile and very unfriendly environment, imagine when everything seems to be in the right system for you. You will do well. So this is more like a plea to those in authorities that are probably administering some of these sectors. I know you want to chop your own, but I'm not saying don't chop. I'm sorry to say it. I know that you will chop. Even if we say you're not chop, you will chop. That's why most of you are there. But at least do the job too. Let people that should be our nest. Let talents that should be our nest for the good of the nation. Let's have them.
All right. What now, Amakades Banti? I think quickly let me just have you react to the fact that our coach might not likely be part of that very important game. I don't know. He wasn't part of some friendlies due to contract issues, but this is, for crying out loud, a grade A game. Olympic qualifier. It's going to be played, over 2 legs, and the first leg, which seems to be the very important one to me, because we're playing at home. And trust me, not getting that result at home, then you are gone already, and the coach will not be part of that game. Now, I don't know what to make out of this. Maybe it wasn't negotiated that Nigeria is your top job, and not that university or thereabouts.
I think that is one of the points that Namo was trying to address, because at that part we did not get it right, and it's going to be sabotage the performance of this guy qualifying for the Olympic. When you do, I'm sure if the manager will be available to actually coach the side. So who do you want to put in charge? An urgent manager. You understand that?
They put like that.
Yeah, not even like that. Maybe.
No, his assistant will be there. But at the same time, you'll be paid to do this.
Or Ismail Mabu or Labu. It's a guy like that. Every time, it's one of those female coaches.
Yeah, maybe Danjuma. You see.
Maybe
Danjuma will not be part.
You see that problem. Now we are hoping to prepare ahead, and the coach will not be available. So that alone can actually demoralize the scale going to that game, and that will actually be a negative effect on the game. So I don't think they are getting it right. And when we don't get it right, we will just do another push and go and qualify. For how long are we going to? When we don't have the right team to actually make things happen, we are going to suffer a lot. Look at the names of these players. Top players, and you are expecting to appoint an interim coach to actually manage them. They would like the dressing room control. The appointed coach might not be able to handle it compared to the right manager that is in the position to actually drive this girl to success. So I think a lot of things are very wrong in this.
Well, before we leave Nigeria this morning, finally, they don't end Shooting Stars a winning run. Of course, they lost 2-1 against Sidima. Suddenly, you became lively, right? What Shooting Stars lost yesterday 2-1 against Nigeria.
I like the fact that you are a very good ardent follower of our local football. It speaks well for our station, and it also speaks well for the fact that people in Nigeria should be able to follow these trends. But there was no run. Please, let's call it speed.
There was a run.
I beg you. There was no. See, I don't have any bad blood for shooting stars. Run, ko. Ronnie.
Better boys.
If you want to talk about somebody who has a run, Enugu Rangers currently has a run. They've been 10 games unbeaten or 9 games unbeaten right now. Shooting Stars only had a 3-game winning streak. Chelsea have been doing it, and that is a bad record. It's a bad record. Chelsea. When was the last time Chelsea?
I hope excuse you are going to also look at that they won away.
I am saying, when was the last time they? Can you imagine what it is to brag?
Imagine. I can imagine.
Are going to check that they won away. No, they should not win away. Why they not win away against Niger Tornadoes?
Well, they lost.
People who are fast.
I think we were unlucky in that encounter. You understand? I didn't think we were clinical enough. We would have.
You say you were?
Yes, I didn't think we were clinical enough. You understand?
Banty,
calm down.
No, before you continue. Banty, before you continue, there's something here.
I don't get. I don't seem to.
Can we have decorum?
like
I think Dreamer will not allow us to have that.
Dreamer, if you watch the highlight of the game, we actually give our best. Even at the halftime, you understand?
That's low light.
No, not low light. You understand? The goal that we have scored, it was defensive error. Pure, like they were just playing like Chelsea defense.
How do you score? How do you score in football? Like. It's just like asking a coach after a match, say, why did you that was pure defensive error.
They were very sloppy.
But you know what,
for a team on a run, they were sloppy.
Yes, it happens a lot. You understand?
That's a very rare adjective to use.
Let's just move on from that, please. Let's just move on. The fact is, Shooting Stars are lost. And
they've lost.
Their run was stopped.
There was no run. They won 3 games in a row, and it was good.
Hopefully, Coach Benga.
It was 3 games in a row that they won. 4 games.
Guys,
Enugu Rangers has 9 games unbeaten. Who is talking about that?
Can we just continue?
9 games unbeaten, and they have a possibility of extending because the teams are going to play next are weaker teams.
They are talking about that. It's not as if they won everything.
They're talking about that in Enugu. See, we're talking now. You are bringing a bias. I think I should make something straight. See, whenever I talk about Shooting Stars or anybody at all, I'm talking about the NPFL as a whole. So when you are saying they are doing that in Enugu Rangers, then you are doing a disservice to people listening to us right now, thinking that yes, no doubt.
The news is about.
No doubt.
You understand?
The news was wrong. The news is Shooting Stars is on a run.
I think I should quickly just address that on a raw in quote.
Yes,
now, if you
their winning streak ended. Winning streak ended, not on a run.
Guys,
I said a run.
4 games unbeaten run.
Let's just, of course, we are definitely going to just leave that. We should just leave on that.
all I know.
But if you are reporting the news, you understand, you can't take it away. That's okay.
Of course.
I think I don't want to like this conversation.
If Bere boys come calling.
I will point you to them. Leave her.
Well, let's just quickly take some comments on Facebook before we move on this morning. Thank you so much, Abayomi, Yemi, Oluwatosin, Olatunji Oshunleye saying good morning, guys. Okay, from Ijekite. Thank you, Moyoye. Good morning. Keep up the good work of Barca, the best to the Super Eagles of Nigeria in today's game. I pray injury free for all Barca players in this international break. Baba, pray for Nigeria now.
Pray for Barca
and
players.
Also, these are from Adela Noayomide. Thank you, Gbemi Solade saying Super Eagles to win. Josephine Kende, LODD, your sports show. All right, thank you so much. Of course, we are glad that we are bringing that joy straight into your heart. Saying, look at the combination in the studios. I guess you're talking about Mark Alex Banty, Dima, and not leaving out Dynamo. Well, for Ashley Cole, he has been inducted into the latest. I beg your pardon. He becomes the latest player to be inducted into the Premier League Hall of Fame. Cole won the league title 3 times, twice with Arsenal and once with Chelsea during what was an illustrious career in England's top flight. I think I should just try to shake the table this morning a bit. Dynamo and okay, let me just do this. Dynamo Market Banty up against Dima. Dima is actually called a Chelsea legend or Arsenal legend.
Ashley Cole is a Premier League legend.
No, let's just try to.
Thank you. Yeah,
Ashley Cole is a
no,
Premier League
that's the best answer.
But this is a thing. You will notice that when he was eventually inducted,
Yeah.
he made mention of one team, and he did mention the other team.
Yeah.
Okay. For whatever reason, I don't know.
Arsenal, right? He didn't mention Arsenal, right?
No, if you read the stuff very well, you will realize that he actually mentioned Arsenal. And
Now,
Chelsea
you were
was-
trying to be diplomatic.
Chelsea was not mentioned.
I'm not
Dynamo
saying-
came with
No,
something else.
I'm just saying
You were
that-
trying to be diplomatic.
I'm just saying that- I'm just
You were
saying
trying
that-
to say,
I'm just-
this peace be unto you.
I'm not even
They're
playing.
not a piece on top you now, bro.
The funny thing is, I'm not playing any piece onto you. I'm playing the card of celebrating a legend,
Yeah,
somebody
of course.
who actually came
They play.
and did and was really that Ashley Cole is undoubtedly one of the most consistent left back during his time. For his national team, for club level, it's no doubt that he attained success at Chelsea. You understand? He had to leave a downtrodden Arsenal at some point, but on the long run, when you look at Ashley Cole, you cannot really categorize him as an Arsenal or a Chelsea player. Arsenal made him the name, you understand? That was what attracted
But let's
Chelsea.
look at the legendary
But
status.
you
3 Premier
understand?
League, 1-2 with Arsenal,
And-
1 with Chelsea.
And a Champions League with Chelsea Football Club.
They're not the shook now.
You see, like, do you know what it means to win a Champions League?
Something that I couldn't do at Arsenal.
The first London club to do so.
Yeah.
So
Twice.
it's
I think it's let them know.
see.
Twice.
I'm not even mentioning Europa League.
Okay.
Because we won it the next season. He won the Europa League next season. And that was when he was in his, I think, 29, 30, 31.
Yeah.
So you can see that.
Imagine if he had
stayed longer at Chelsea, what he would have been able to win.
Arsenal, how about Arsenal?
If he would have regretted it. I mean, Cesc Fabregas left Arsenal.
To win the Premier League. At Chelsea.
Giroud left Arsenal.
To leave the UEFA. I think, did he win the UEFA Champions
He
League?
won,
Yeah.
yes, he won the
And
Champions
Europa
League and won, and
Oh my
even won
God.
an FA Cup at some point. Should I continue mentioning names?
I think-
Gallas left Arsenal to win the Premier League
Can you
at
imagine?
Chelsea.
Gallas left Arsenal.
Yes.
What are you saying?
No. See,
Gallas moved from Chelsea to Arsenal. Gallas
When
moved to
people
Arsenal. What are
don't
you
know
saying?
much
Wait.
about
Wait.
It's the fact that Champions League is not a prerequisite for you to be in
Oh!
Premier League.
I am not mentioning. I am not saying that as the prerequisite. What I was saying, you guys wanted violence. I only called Ashley Cole a Premier League, and I was trying to say, I was trying to buttress his point that Ashley Cole called Arsenal.
Yes.
And did not mention Chelsea.
So far, you
have
are,
to shoot you.
I think you have that special status. So far, you are an invincible member. Invisible member.
Invisible
Wait,
what?
calm down. Calm down. So far, you have been tagged.
In that invisibility, how many games did they win?
It doesn't mean anything. We went. If he is a drum,
I think
you're not.
get some things just but I'll quickly just say a few things
Please do.
so that
You have the floor.
he gets to understand.
Okay.
How many games did you win during the invisible?
When you banter with people that don't even know anything about
You
it,
won 26 games. Chelsea won a record 30 games.
30 games.
On that.
And lost one now.
And they did not lose one. I'm not saying they lost one. I'm not saying, but a record 30 games when they won the Premier League in 2016.
Well, I think Dana was trying to make okay, you want to respond or make a
no,
point?
just make a point. Why-
Please
Okay.
respond and peace be unto you.
First and foremost, he already made a point. We're talking about an individual that won 2 premiership
Yeah.
with a club. One was invincible.
Yeah.
Establish it.
And that one was
And that invincible, so that you understand what it means. Those two, they are 2-legged games against the same Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah.
And the first one was 2-1 at the Stamford Bridge. The second one was another massacre. It's always like that. And the only reason at the moment Arsenal fans would always have a problem with Ashley Cole was because he was so ungrateful. I'll tell you why he was ungrateful. See, if Ashley Cole never left Arsenal,
he wouldn't have won the Champions League.
he probably would have, and I'll tell you why. 2006, Arsenal got to the finals of the Champions League. Ashley Cole was injured all through
The season.
that season. It was the final that Arsene Wenger made one of the greatest mistakes of his life, starting him over a Flamini that played all the matches from like the first knockout stage up until that period. And guess the way Ashley Cole paid him back immediately after that particular tournament.
He left for Chelsea.
He left, and then he would tell you that some of the things he would tell you will be that Arsenal offered him £55,000 I mean, that's exactly what he has said to renew his contract. And for him, that was not enough. That was the reason he left. The question would be, you were in the academy. Nobody knew you. They made you something. And most people, including Henry, were probably earning just 100K that time. You're not at the same level as Henry. Whether you like it or not, it's just what it is. And then they left. At the moment, however they want to paint the picture, it still has an invisible that nobody... They asked the legendary Alex Ferguson.
Yeah, he couldn't do that.
That's a man that succeeded by all standards. No coach, including all of the coaches that they've ever had. And he said that one thing that he would always reach over every other thing that he did, including when he won treble, that was for a team.
Visible.
However you look at it, whether you say that they lost, I mean, there are so many draws or not, that they were able to go a whole season without a loss. That for him will always stand out. And I'll give you another thing for you to understand.
But you have to do it quick because of the time.
As a Wenger himself, because of what he wanted to achieve, probably even sacrificed the Champions League. And I'll tell you why I said that. 2004, when a certain Porto won the Champions League, if you look at that, in fact, very many people said that as Wenger lost Champions League because he wanted to keep the unbeaten. I'll give you a simple example. Chelsea played against Monaco. They lost.
In flying colors.
Do you know what it means? Yeah. Against Monaco. Arsenal would have very easily won the Champions League if they did not rest players against Chelsea. Because at that point, Chelsea had never, for more than a decade, had never, in all competitions, beating Arsenal.
Just
listen.
It is so.
We have just less than 1 minute to leave this.
When you were talking, I gave you your space.
No, but your opponent, your counterpart rather, did not give me space. Which one is she gave me my space? Am I asking for space? Are we in a relationship?
They lost that opportunity against Monaco.
You see, I am. To be honest, I am. If the argument Dynamo is bringing is comparing a very high-profile Arsenal to a Chelsea team that was up and coming under a Claudio Ranieri, I'm ashamed.
Well, let's just.
I'm ashamed. Why did we not do the same thing under Jose Mourinho? We change coaches like rags. I'm not like clothes. I don't hide that fact. But during those periods that we change coaches,
I think I'm going to enjoy more of this
conversation. What did Arsenal enjoy?
At least now we have Chelsea.
At least
where they're supposed to be. And you have Arsenal. When they were supposed to be. So don't worry, we will continue like this.
You're comparing the high profile act. Like seriously.
That is likely to be relegated. Those chances.
Arsenal of 2003-2004 to Chelsea of 2003-2004. Let's call a spade now.
Okay.
Back then we know that Chelsea was a team that was up and coming. They were building a project.
We
were able to make it to the Champions League.
And when were Champions League 2003, 2004?
It's only
we were just a better side. And it doesn't mean your team.
If you count the Chelsea of 2003 with Jamba Gonzola, with Greg
Abramovich bought Chelsea in 2003, right? He started a project that he wanted to make Chelsea a force to reckon with. And when he eventually started his project, Arsenal had to stay in the shadows.
Okay.
Like I said, I told you last time that I'm sure Dynamo was in university back then. when Arsenal did the invisible. So you are now telling me that Chelsea did a lot of Monaco. Monaco was a force. Paris Saint-Germain. Should I mention names?
Repercussion is coming.
They are here to chase out of
you have a lot of charges.
Let's just do that.
You have a lot of charges on your radar. Wait. You will suffer it.
See, guys, I am a young Chelsea fan. I started supporting Chelsea in 2005. I don't hide it.
Okay.
You understand? But the little I know about Chelsea before 2005, I'm telling you. Are you comparing Duff to the Henry, the Lungba of Arsenal? He was in his prime. He was about to leave.
And Crespo.
Have you heard about
Andre Flo?
Former Barcelona
Adami go flow.
Dani Alves has been released from prison, of course, after posting his €1 million bail band right. And today we have a lot of games talking about the final of the Euros qualifiers. It's going to be.
You know, don't know anything.
I saw Alabosi in Dynamo. Dynamo is an Alabosi. Go and check those scores. See names is mentioning. Go and check Arsenal's team.
I know, bro. I know.
Are you not supporting 3SC again?
This is how far we can go. Guys, this is how far we can go on the show today. Thank you so much for being fans. Thank you, Dima. Thank you, Dynamo. And of course, thank you so much, Magadex Banty. But before I go, let me say a big birthday shout out to my lovely sister, of course, Mrs. Omolarami Owotomoshe Awelewa. Today is her birthday. Of course, happy birthday to you, a sister, long life and prosperity. I love you so much, and I'm very sure that you love me too. We'll be back tomorrow, and that will be for the midweek dose of the show for the week. Today, Diolu Jobi remains my name, and on behalf of my guys this morning, we are telling you to keep on minding your business and keep on listening to the voice of the light at Adamimogo 105.1 FM, and don't stop drinking water irrespective of that what you
and
consume,
please,
that substance.
Don't stop raising your flags.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you very much.
I love you.
Up Nigeria.